So, get ready for some Terra Formars hype, and as you can see, we're getting really hyped up. Ryan's got a cool shirt.
Oh yeah,
I've got a cool shirt.
Cool shirts all around.
But anyway, now that we've got the Terra Formars hype, we've got the shirts, time to get into the episodes. So, going from episodes 5 to 8 now, we're getting a bit more into the mission, where the mission's getting a bit more dire, but there's also a couple of positive things that happened.
Yeah, so we'll go from what I remember in like episode 5. So, Marcus is just flipping out. He's just like, fuck you, Terra Formars, he killed Sheila. And yeah, so it was that episode consists of Marcus just fucking going ape shit and more backstory for Sheila. And, fucking backstories. It's evil. An evil thing.
Yeah.
All the feels.
And you got your answer about Shokichi. He grew his stingers back.
Yeah, they got him back, like, because Marcus was going hell-bent for leather, and obviously the huntsman spider's not known for its endurance, so he was getting tired and he was going to get like surrounded, and then Shokichi just fucking punches one in the face, and it's like, oh, fucking so high. But yeah, it's, so pretty much, it's, I'm going to start it, it's not Terra Forms anymore, it's Terra Feels.
Terra Feels?
Because it's just like all them feels.
All that Terra Feelers. We actually started taking a longer look at Squad 2 with Michelle K. Davies, Hizumaru, and Alex, who are, you know, the main sort of cool dudes.
Man, it's like, so, like, there's not just one, like a couple of boss people, there's like over a dozen probably now, or close to a dozen. So, out of 100, you hope there's... Like,
yeah, you hope that there's at least a couple of them there that are pretty good.
It's just like, Hizumaru is really cool. It's just like, his ability, once again, it's just like, if it was on paper, I'd be like, that's just fucking lame. It's a fucking moth. But then it's just like, how it's used, I'm just like, fucking bravo, son. It's amazing, and...
Just goes to show a little bit of ingenuity with your abilities can turn you from like a rank C person into a rank S. So you can be that S class style that Ryan always aspires to. Yeah, exactly.
It's just my life, man.
So we got a couple of cool things, like not only did we find out that Alex is also a boss and it's not just Marcus. So
yeah, he's literally, I can't remember which bird it was at the moment, but it's just like, he's just, I'm a fucking bird, I can fly. I'm like, that's pretty sweet.
And it's just like, oh yeah, one of the things that I can do, since I'm super into baseball, it's just like I keep watching all like the pitches and whatnot, just so I've learned to throw things.
Yeah, like, so it's like a speedball, and he just like fucking throws it at the Terra Formars leg, and you just see it like goes to dodge with one leg, and it's just like, and twists into it and just breaks his like kneecap, and he's like, fuck. And
we had a little bit of Ric Flair with the figure 4 leg lock.
Oh man, that was so fucking... See, you were right, I think it was last video, or it might have been the video before. Yeah, it was last video, how you say...
Oh, I just like to hear I'm right.
Yeah. How fucking... What a cool, like, female character. It's not just like, oh, I'm helpless damsel in distress.
Yeah.
She's just like, I'm gonna fucking go in there, do shit, fuck everyone up, and she kicks ass and takes names.
Woo!
And yeah, that figure 4 like leg lock, yeah, it's just like, I could woo to this.
So yeah, and that's really cool. So we got, you know, a bit more about them. We also meet Yeiko, the girl that just really likes food. Yeah. And so...
What was it? It was just like, fucking...
All day pizza buffet.
Just trying to remember, Alex is just like, I think it was Alex, wasn't
it?
Yeah,
it was Alex
like,
and Hizumaru.
I'm gonna, I'll give you, was it 5,000 yen if you let us have a peek, because Michelle got fucking cockroach juice, like blood all over her, and so she had to go and change for being in the water as well. And they're just like, I'll give you money. And she's like, what do you think? I'm a high class Japanese woman, pretty much. And it's just like 50,000 yen.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something in my eyes.
Yeah.
It's just like, you fucking... It's like, if Michelle catches you, she will kill you.
Yep. So it's just like, it might be worth it for the couple of seconds that you live.
Well, she even said that, like, Hizumaru in the hospital, it's like, if I'm going to let this go once, because he was looking down at top, and it's like, next time I'll kill you.
Yeah. So, yeah, we also got
that was before we move on. Yeah. It was just like, when it's like, oh, you're a good subordinate, and not just a good subordinate, you're a good man. And like, so what were you saying back then? I said, you're a pig-headed bastard.
Yeah. So we got a bit more of the relationship building between those two.
And, congratulations, first episode when no one died, none of the humans died. I'm like, yes! Fucking, I can't believe it. yeah, I'm really surprised that no one at all died in that episode.
We're gonna go and we're gonna jump over to the Russian team. And
fucking boss Russian team.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck, it's just like, oh, in situation of confronting terraformers, we're instructed to send all non-combatants to the emergency pod. Good thing there's no non-combatants in the Russian squad. It's like, fuck yeah, squad 3.
So yeah, we see Sylvester's augmentation. We find out that it's a Tasmanian crab.
It's like, fuck, man, it's just like, Tasmanian crab's ability, it can regrow arm and legs, and it can like sever them whenever, just by thinking about it. So it's like, arm comes off, regrows arm, and yeah, he's got like the crab shell of, well yeah, he's got the crab shell, he's got like armor. So you see all the terraformers just beating the shit out of him, he's just like, fuck off, mate.
Yeah, and we find out why he actually goes to Mars, and it's because that his daughter is sick with the AE virus. Yeah.
And he's just like, I don't care who it is, if it's fucking you terraformers, if it's
terrorists.
Fucking, yeah, terrorists, or if it's fucking aliens, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna fucking cure my daughter.
And defend the country she's gonna go home to. So it's like, Russia.
And yeah, he's just like, water boss, and fucking Ivan, even though after seeing his sister get killed, he's just like, his ability, it's like, he's not even an animal ability, it's a fucking plant, which is just like, it releases hallucinogenic drugs. So, watch out, mother's groups might be after
yeah.
Because they're just like, oh, and he doesn't pay taxes.
Oh yeah, you gotta take Ivan off the Target shelves.
Yeah, fucking.
But anyway, so
but yeah, that was cool. Just the fucking how that one is just wigging out, and it's just like all the eyes, like fucking severed heads, just like walking around like on the fingers underneath, and it's like fingers coming out of the eyes, and all the mouth is like, oh, it's just like. And he's got it in a headlock, like Sylvester does.
Yeah.
It's a headlock, and it's just fucking wigging out.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool, and something that I thought was like nice is the fact that Ivan didn't kill the thing that killed his sister. He captured it.
Yeah, he's
so
just
it's like,
we're gonna make, like, I'm gonna use you for like scientific purposes, and they let him capture it. Target captured.
So yeah, Russian team is awesome team.
Fucking. First 3 teams are awesome. Like, they're just full of boss people.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I suppose that's what you kind of need up
there.
Yeah.
So it's good to finally see some get back on the terraformers. Like, humans aren't getting killed left and right for a change. I mean, there's still some deaths, but it's just like...
And the thing is, we forgot to mention, that, like we did see with Sheila, how that had God Lee's ability, that they've somehow adapted to have sort of the crew members of Bugs 2 abilities. So Hizumaru was versing one that had Tim's ability, like the grasshopper, and he's just like, fucking, I know whose like ability you got, and you're nowhere near as good as him. And they had a picture of Tin, and was like, fuck.
And we were just talking about earlier, just like we were wondering what would have happened if like Shokichi ran into that terraformer.
He would have just like fucking went postal, and you just would have seen him, just would have just fucking like pummeled him to dust.
Yeah, because so far we've seen that Shokichi's been a lot more calm and whatnot, and he's gotten used to the abilities of the Japanese Hornet. So he's like trying to remain
like
calm. But I think that would be one of the things that would just make him snap.
I think he would go off and just be like, fucking kill 100,000 cockroaches, and just be like, everyone's dead.
China. What happened to the China team? Were they lucky?
Well, from seeing Squad 5, like Adolf's team run in, and possibly we just saw a few burnt corpses, so we don't know if they're dead or alive, if there's any survivors, so they're MIA at the moment, missing in action.
Yeah.
So it's like, fuck, it's not good. So we'll just have to wait for the next sort of arc to see if anyone survived.
Same with the Rome, so the European and African sort of squad.
So Squad 4 and 6 got fucking, looked like launched into like a nest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when Squad 2 wrapped up its battle and captured, they had Squad 1 and Squad 6 were calling for SOSs, so shit might be getting serious with Shokichi's crew.
Yeah, once again we're just gonna have to wait and find out for that. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
No.
And then we got to meet Adolf.
Yes, and I still stand by my statement. Adolf, super cool dude, 2014.
Yep, there you go.
So, and once again, backstory, and it's like, oh fuck, man, he's like, he was just a fucking number pretty much, because they're just like, we got all these kids from like orphanages and whatnot, or don't want and aren't wanted by the state, and like, we'll sign them a fucking number, and the scientists going around the room, it's just like, we're going to do experiments, if you volunteer, we'll save the rest of this guys, like rest of the kids. And Adolf was once again super cool dude and volunteer, and they conducted electricity experiments on him, and they got him spliced with the electric eel, because that's his power. And then you find out the reason why he covers his face is because he's got fucking horrible burns. So kind of like Jonah Hex. Yeah, he's just got.
And you can see like his teeth and everything, and and like all over his body. Like you'll see his hands, and there's just like 3rd-degree burns everywhere. And you find out that he's got like, they give him surgery so that because the electric eel, when it uses electricity, it also shocks itself. So he feels the pain every time he uses the electricity.
But because like with the electric eel, it has enough like fat and blubber that it absorbs it, and so they did all these tests, and then they're like, oh, congratulations, it looks like he can control it. Now we're going to be able to like start working on the grounding. So it's like he has specially made shoes for himself,
and he's got like these electrodes in his back and throughout his body as well. So it's like one of those things where I reckon even if like a terraformer was to try and get an ability like that, it's like it would just kill itself.
Yeah, it's just like fuck. And then is it? It's
Isabella?
It's Rose or Rosa. His wife.
Yeah.
And the story about that, he's feeding pigeons, and everyone's scared of him because of his face, and he's always got it covered up.
Yeah.
And she falls in love with him in like, university, and
his birthday is also December 25th, so
I'm going to be celebrating that. Move over, Jesus.
Move over, Jesus. I've got the birth of the new saviour. But
oh man, it's just like, so like, she's like so nice to him, gets him a scarf and that. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah,
it's like wrapped
covers
up.
around him,
And like on the bridge, how she kisses him on the cheek.
Yeah.
And then you like discover later on, like they
get married.
Get married and whatnot, and it's like he's all happy, and then he finds out that she fucking has an affair on him, and like he's outside in the pouring rain, which is convenient because
it just started raining now. Like,
so he's
just talking about Adolf and the rain happens.
He's there, literally outside of his apartment, and he knows what's going on, and basically he confronts her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm weak," and all this, and like, I know he's a stronger person than most people I know because he forgave her, even though she cheated on him, and 9 months later she has a baby, and it's like, did it pass on any the genetics from like the surgery? It's like, no, didn't pass on any genetics, didn't even pass on your DNA. And it's like a 0% match, and it's just like, so he's got this bastard child, and so he's like, he had to, it's like, that was a couple of days before Annex 1 launch, so he's just like, he's pretty much just like, I want to die on Mars. So I've got nothing to go back to.
That's a really rough situation because it's just like, I reckon that Adolf was the kind of guy that would still try and look after them, but you just know that for the rest of his life he's like screwed over emotionally.
Yeah.
And it's like he was like, one of the things that I like about Adolf is he's constantly trying to bring his squad's morale up and everything.
Well, they're just like, because it's like, so far we've only seen 2 people where it's himself and Isabella.
And we've also seen Eva.
Yes, as well. But like use their use their abilities. So it's just like everyone else is just like, oh, too bad we suck so much, and he's just like, hey, you guys don't suck. We're all here for a purpose. So I'm hoping there's a fucking badass moment in the future for them.
Cool.
So it's gonna be interesting, but it's fucking poor Hitler. No,
poor Hitler.
That's the problem. Every time I keep thinking Adolf, it's like, no, fucking
German.
Yeah.
It's like German guy called Adolf, and there's a German girl called Eva. Oh no.
No, it's
taking Spanish class to go to South America.
Poor Adolf though. It's just like, I feel so for him. It's just like, fucking, as I said, Terra Formars. So.
Well, there you go. So now that we've done a pretty much recap of all the episodes that we saw and whatnot, I've got to ask, who do you think's the coolest team?
It's like, they're all cool. The teams that I know are still alive is all cool. They all got kick-ass commanders. All the commanders are kick-ass that are still that had like screen time. So it's just like, it's like a tie between Squad 1 and 2 at the moment, probably though.
So for me, my favourite sort of squad was I really like the German squad. I like Adolf. I think that he would be an amazing leader to have and whatnot, and the fact that he's boosting morale, and it's just like, I would like to be on the Russian team, but it's just like everyone has to be super jacked and ready to get right into combat and fight. Well, it seems like Adolf is just willing to put himself on the line, and he's just like, let's go, I'm going to defend these guys. And so it's like, I really like that guy, and his, you know, just his comradeship, I guess, camaraderie. But out of everyone, I think Adolf might even be so far my favourite Annex 1 character, just like who's like, yeah, being introduced. But apart from that, I really like Marcus and Alex. And it's just like, cool. You know, even Hisomaru, it's like Michelle, like I like everyone, and that's a good thing. Like most of the protagonists, there's not a single protagonist where I'm like, oh, you know what, I don't really care about you. And it's like, if any one of these people dies, I'll be like, oh man.
Yeah, I was like, that's what I thought when the diving beetle had Michelle. It was like, fuck, no, she can't die, she's super cool.
Yeah. So what about you, dude? Do you have a particular squad that you would like to be in if you had a choice?
Probably Shokichi's. It's just like, he is super badass.
Oh yeah. Who was it? Like I think it Keiji, who's just boxing dude in the first one. But yeah, it's like you're surrounded by a bunch of really cool people already. So it's just like, and then the fact that Shokichi's there to save you if anything goes wrong. It's like good stuff. And he's another well, not even just the captain of everything, but it's just like he's another leader where he generally he cares about everyone in his squad and whatnot. And it's just like, I think that Sylvester does as well, but I think Shokichi would do like that thing to anything to help.
But yeah, like Sylvester seems very reserved in his like feelings, except when it comes to his daughter, of course.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, usual questions as always. What do you think? Where do you think's going to happen, or what do you think's going to be next for these Terra Formars squads and whatnot?
Well, I think Sylvester's squad's like they're going to the pyramids, so they're going to investigate that. I'm not quite sure it was squad 1 or 6 because they're at that SOS. So
yeah.
I know Adolf was saying to Michelle, it's like, should I go to like squad 1 or should I like go to the nearest one, or should I go to Annex 1? And she said go to Annex 1, follow the protocol.
Yeah. Get there before Russia or China.
Yeah.
So it's like there's a bit of distrust between these nations still. So yeah.
500 years in the future, who would have thought?
Yeah, right. So yeah, and usual way that we're gonna wrap it up, which is, do you think it's gonna get better or is it gonna get worse? Because we saw a couple of things getting a bit better.
It was a bit better, but I expect a lot more deaths. It's like, I hope for more. Like, realistically, it's gonna fucking, like, there's just gonna be carnage and sad and all the feels. And like, trying to be optimistic, I hope there's more episodes where there's not a single death in the humans and they just completely fuck over the Terra Formars. But noticing like a couple of like in the Terra Formars, like you see the one that had the one rope band, and then that other one that had 2. So and the one that Isabella, he was just like fucking
jacked and everything.
Yeah, it was like Hulk Hogan jacked.
Yeah. So you think things are going to get better?
I hope so. I hope things get better. But I mean, they've captured quite a few samples now, and different samples. So hopefully they can. Well, they've still got 39 days because the day hasn't. Oh, it's just turned night now.
Yeah.
So and
we're seeing some form of command structure as well because of like all the armbands and everything.
Yeah, and it's just like fuck Terra Formars. I hate them. With their soulless fucking eyes. So
yeah, once again, we'll be back next week with some more, and pretty soon, Ryan, Terra Formars is going to wrap up, and that will be the end of it. And so you'll have to decide then whether or not we're going to jump onto the manga or just hear if there's any anime news, and whether or not we're just going to stick with the anime.
It'll be interesting. I'll see how it goes.
So yeah, no promises, we're just going to see how it goes, and until then, guys, stay the fuck away from Mars.